Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning? Are you feeling the chill? I know it's a little chilly in here, but we're going to warm things up right now. If you feel like you'd like to stand up and dance on our opening song, please feel free to as we begin. And I have to tell you, I know something about you. I know something about you. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude every day. And I say, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Your biggest self can't be denied. You've got no place to hide because I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is alright. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful humans. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here at this magnificent spiritual center that we have collectively created over the course of the energetic field that has been going on for almost 70 years. This community has been here for almost 70 years. Isn't that a blessing? Yeah. And I'm so delighted to share this time with you. We are a spiritual community. We come here every Sunday morning to learn a little bit more about ourselves and to engage some spiritual, practical tools so that we can make our lives better. That's what this whole thing, that's what spirituality is all about for me. A spiritual practice has made my life better, and so that's what drew me into being in this kind of position as a minister, to want to encourage others to embody spiritual practical tools and make their lives better. Now, we do carry beliefs here, and we carry teachings here, and I have my own beliefs, and you have your own beliefs, and you may not believe everything you hear today, and that's okay. But I do think that you will hear something that you do believe, and part of the practice is to get in touch with what it is we do believe. So if you hear something that butts up against a belief that you hold, maybe just take a look at that and say, do I want to engage in that belief? Do I not want to engage in that belief? See what works for you. Because as the great Master Jesus said, it is done unto you as you believe. And so your beliefs are creating your experience. That's the fundamental premise of what we teach here. We carry a vision and mission here at Unity of Tucson as well, and I would love for us to collectively state the words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. That is how we see the world, and the mission are the steps we take to
see that vision through. So let us state the words of our mission statement together. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And we get a lot of lessons in these various statements. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And I feel like the ideas of them are constantly growing and changing for me. How about you? Rest of you? If you're joining us for the first time today, I want to reach out and say hello to anyone who may be online joining us for the first time today. Deeply grateful that you've decided to share your Sunday morning with us in a virtual capacity, or whenever you're watching, because these do get archived and you can watch them anytime during the week, but always grateful to have the connection. If you would like to go and continue this connection, go to unitytucson.com/connect and fill out the information there, and we will keep this connection going. Deeply grateful for you. Now, if you're in the room for the first time, we would love to honor you if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up. We have a gift that we would like to give to you. So is there anyone who's joining us for the first time today? Welcome. Grateful to have you here. And if you remain standing for just a few moments, do please remain standing, because we want to let you know something that we know about you, because we at Unity do our research and we have found out something about you, and it is this. Is everyone ready? 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Absolutely. Thank you for joining us and shining your light. Now we know that about you because you and every single person we encounter is a reflection of something that is inherent within each and every one of us. And I choose to understand and see the magnificence in all people. And so I think that we should all exclaim for ourselves this affirmation: I am magnificent. How does that feel? Do I dare say yes? Let's do it one more time. I am magnificent. There we go. We're going to heat this place up. Yes. It's warm up here, by the way. But we can't all fit up here. So we're going to continue on. Would you please welcome today's keeper of the flames here to light the flames of faith, Lynn Peterson, also known as Mom. Good morning. This ritual that we've adopted here at Unity of Tucson is to honor the faith traditions of the world and to acknowledge that at the core of all faith traditions and all spiritual paths, all religious ideas, is one thing, and we call that thing love. Lynn.
Universal path of harmony and equilibrium the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And we light this final candle to represent the healing of any circumstances that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The candle here on your left is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this in mind, that it is a representation of a consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow that peace that is our inner peace to inform our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our deeds, and our intentions, that we, right where we are creating a more peaceful world. And so it all begins right here. Let's honor this candle by reading together the prayer for world. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Indeed it does. We have a devoted group of prayer chaplains here at Unity of Tucson, for whom I am deeply grateful, each and every one of them. And today, offering a reading, guiding us in our monthly affirmation, and also offering a prayer for us is our prayer chaplain today, Sherry Hoffman.
Good morning. So today's reading is from Dr. Diane Dreher. She's a professor at Santa Clara University, a lecturer in positive psychology, and she is the author of the book, The Tao of Inner Peace, which I found my reading from today. And I have no idea how it ended up on my bookshelf, but when I was looking for what I should talk about or read today, it popped out. And I opened it up to the page that this reading came from. So, peace comes from transcending polarities with a vision of the larger whole. Call that vision life, God, existence, or the Tao. It has many names. Emerson called it the Oversoul. Beyond the surface differences, it is one that includes all. Men and women of the Tao experience oneness through regular spiritual practice. Many conflicts occur when we are not living deeply enough, dashing frantically from one commitment to another. We lose touch of the Tao. Taking time for reflection may seem like a self-indulgence when we face a world of crisis and conflict. Yet it is one of the most responsible things that we can do. When we are confused and uncentered, we project our inner conflicts out into the world around us. We are at peace with ourselves. We can see more clearly and act more effectively. The serenity gained from meeting spiritual needs helps Tao people keep their lives in order without constant drain of emotional crisis or burnout. They have more times for themselves and things they believe in. Balanced, responsible, and at peace with themselves, they radiate that peace to all they meet. So let's take a little bit of time for reflection and self-indulgence, shall we? Today I'm going to read the affirmation that we've said a couple times already this month. I'll read it once or say it once, and then it'll appear on the wall magically by the press of the button. And then we'll reread it twice together, okay? Today, I simply let go. I find my God nature was there all along. Shall we read it together? Today, I simply let go and find my God nature was there all along. Let's just do that one more time for good luck, right? Today, I simply let go and I find my God nature was there all along.
This month, as we have engaged in the construct of release as one of the 12 powers that we've been exploring this year, what if we let go of everything we thought was us? What would we be left with? I am a firm believer that what we would be left with is pure love, which is our God nature. Just relax right where we are. Allowing ourselves to be open
I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
As I open my heart, I acknowledge, I allow, I know that God's source energy is that love that is flowing in and through me at all times. I open my heart out to the world, to those around me. I am thankful, I am grateful, and I am appreciative of everything that I am. As I tune in to listening to that intuition, that inner guidance, as I take the time to reflect and indulge in myself and in that connection to God's source energy that is me, I know that I am exuding and shining brightness of love to all that is, because that is me, that is God flowing through me and every single person I encounter. I acknowledge this. I release any of those fears and doubts and stress and anxiety that may come about me in the next couple of weeks and months and years, because I embrace that God flowing through me and around me, and I am that God. I acknowledge this as so, and I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive.
Thank you. Before you sit down, she's not expecting this. Come here. Would you come a moment? I want to acknowledge something. That I want to acknowledge your magnificent blossoming in this role that I have watched over the past year, and the way that you have become so much more easeful. I know this used to scare you, and you have become so much more easeful. And I just want to acknowledge how magnificent you are. Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you.
And I do want to say for all the other prayer chaplains, it's not that I don't see your growth and your magnificence. It's just this is a particular journey that we have been on that she has shared with me, and I just wanted you to know that I recognize how much you've grown, and so thank you for that. Ooh, God, I just got hit with some emotion. All right, just let it be. The last time I sang the song that I wanted to sing today was last year on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. And this year, it just hit me that I didn't do it last week, and it's a perfect Thanksgiving song. So as we wrap up our Thanksgiving weekend, let's just enjoy this beautiful, beautiful song written by John Bacchino.
I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie in bed counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Giving thanks for what I've got makes me so much happier than keeping score. There are times I might feel pain. I will still take each chance, for I believe that whatever the terrain, our feet can learn to dance, whatever stone life may sling. We can moan or we can sing. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
telling Linda today about my time when I lived in New York City, and I would go to, I went to piano bar a lot, and there was always cabaret rooms and things like that, and John Bucchino is very popular in that scene, and so that's how I came to know that composer, because it's not that well known that I'm aware of, other than the cabaret scene in New York and what I've brought to the table here at Unity of Tucson. No, he's actually quite well known in those circles, of which I used to be a part. So we have two things that are happening today here on this particular Sunday. Those two things are this. This is the final week of our Fall Renewal series, where we have been looking at the book Working with the Law by Raymond Hollowell. And it just happens to also coincide with the first Sunday of Advent. And when we have Advent, there are 4 Sundays before Christmas that are the Advent season, and on each Sunday there is a theme. And the first Sunday of Advent is always faith and hope in unity. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. And I thought, well, how am I going to reconcile working with the law, and when I read the chapter title, The Law of Obedience. And then there was the Law of Success, the 2 chapters we read for this week, right? But I read that, the Law of Obedience, and I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have to go through a whole Law of Sacrifice thing again, because the Law of Sacrifice kind of was a bit wonky last week. But then I read the chapter and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. The law of obedience is actually a perfect lesson in faith and hope, right? Did you all read it? No. William, F. At least he's honest. At the exam, I would have known that you hadn't read the book. So, we're going to look at the law of obedience through the lens of faith and hope a little bit. Now, I wanted to say that in Unity, we take the first Sunday as faith and hope, because traditionally in more traditional Christian churches, the first Sunday of Advent is hope. And we know how we feel about hope here, right? As Ernest Holmes says, hope is, now I can't think of the quote. This is one that I've had committed to memory forever. Hope is good. Hope is good. I just want to be very clear. Hope is good. It's better than despair. He says, but it is an unconscious compromise. It is an unconscious compromise because hope is not faith. We have not yet arrived at faith. Hope is assuming that something can still go wrong. That's why hope is a little bit of a wonky thing in New Thought circles. So in Unity, we have taken hope on the first Sunday of Advent, and we've said it is faith and hope. And I like to define hope in this manner because, I love a good acronym. Having only positive expectations. That's what hope is for me. Yes. So here I am reading the law of obedience. So what I worked out is this. He defines obedience in this manner. Obedience is the governor of all movement, whether it be mechanical, literal, or spiritual. And I thought, aha, there it is. The law of obedience is that the law is obedient. That's what the law of obedience is. The law always does exactly what we impress upon it through our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings. The law will always meet us in exact measure of that which we impress upon it. The law itself is obedient. And the law of obedience is an invitation to work with the law, not counter to the law. And when we are working with the law, then we are in a state of eternal faith. That's what I believe. And that's how I teach. That when we are working with the law, we are in a state of eternal hope. Because remember, did I just say hope? I meant to say faith. At least I caught myself, because that would have been very confusing. And remember, we talk about, he has these 12 laws, and there's really only one law. The law of creation, the law of mind action. That is the law. We give it all of these other kind of adjectives to talk about it. There is one law. It is the law we are using to construct our experience of this thing called life. It is the creative impulse within each and every one of us. That is the one law, creation. Creation is eternally happening all the time, no matter what. We cannot cease creating all the time, no matter what. The question is, what are you creating? What are you creating? Look at your life. That's what you're creating. And then there are going to be some people are going to go, oh my gosh, that's so depressing. No, it's not depressing to me, because what it does is it says, if I have created it, then I must be the person in power who can recreate my life if that's what I so choose. And so when I am in alignment and obey the law, knowing that the law itself is obedient to my thoughts, my beliefs, and my feeling, then my life turns around. I stated at the beginning of today's service that embracing practical spiritual tools has made my life better. This is exactly what I'm talking about. My life has gotten infinitely better because of a practice. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a new thought practice, although that's what works for me. That's what works for me. What works for you? That's a rhetorical question. What works for you? Is this working for you? If you're new to our community, is this something that might work for you? You're at choice here, and that's the greatest gift we have. If we were to say there was a gift from on high, which there isn't, because we are that infinite power and presence, but if there is a gift from on high, the gift that we have is infinite choice in the expression of our lives. There seems to be, within this entire chapter, a question or a consideration of morality. Anyone pick that up? It's like, oh, he's talking a lot about morality here in this reading. And it invited for me a reflection on whether a spiritual path is required to know what is right and what is wrong. Because I know a lot of atheists who have a very deep sense of what is right and what is wrong. And so I then look and say, if I were an atheist, which in some ways, some people would probably consider me an atheist because I don't believe in a God out there. I believe in an infinite presence and principle of creation that is part of who we are and what we are. So in a traditional sense, people might say, well, you are an atheist because you don't believe in God. I do believe in God, that good orderly direction that is who I am. But has this path, the new thought path, the new thought principle, guided me down and into an expression and experience of what is right morally? I would say that the beliefs I hold, which are love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are about as moral as I can possibly get. Now, some faith philosophies are going to suggest that their path is the right path and has the right moral stance, and we may be in conflict with one another in terms of what we believe. Anyone ever have that experience? Anyone have that experience on Thursday at the dinner table? What is the purpose of a spiritual path? Again, rhetorical. What is the purpose of a spiritual path? What I have found is that this path has benefited my life, not because I have utilized these principles for selfish gain, but because it guides me to a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. That deeper understanding is rooted in selflessness. Not that I'm lessening the self, but that I'm understanding life in a completely different way. I've alluded to, on occasion here, the fact that I used to be an actor. I thought that would get a laugh. Thank you for laughing, Sherry. I used to be an actor, and I realized at one point when I was in the study of becoming a minister that what I was seeking was an understanding of what it is to live life. And I was seeking that in an outward way through character work and being on stage and presenting and performing. That I was always in a search for what it was to be in this thing called. And it was very much an outward-seeking expression. And I realize now that it goes right hand in hand with what I do here, which is spend a lot of time with that inward seeking. That's the value of a spiritual path. And so I'm finding the ways to balance that in my life, because I'm very happy to go sit in silent meditation for a day or two. Yes, silence for a day or two. Try it sometime. See what happens. See if you can actually do it. Because a lot of people have a real challenge being the silence. And notice I said being the silence, not being in the silence. That's the thing, being the silence. But that inward journey has become more important to me than the outward expression. Because what I have discovered is that focusing on that which is within unburdens the expression that is without. So this path has benefited my life, allowed me to acknowledge the magnificence I see in the faces of every single person I encounter. All the time. Because I recognize God as the core essence and expression of everyone. No excuses, no matter what. Even the people that I find challenging, and there are a few of those. Anyone have any challenges with people? I see a hand going up way back there, yes. Here's the thing. Those people are God too. Ugh. And those people can push your buttons, right? And I used to be very reactive. Used to be. Somewhere along the way, it was probably on social media, and so I'm going to offer a quote that I don't know to whom I should attribute this quote, but the quote was this: I almost always regret losing my temper, but I almost never regret keeping it. I almost always regret losing my temper, but I almost never regret keeping it. This spiritual path has taught me a deeper sense of relief by not taking anything personally. I once lost my temper in a spectacular way. I was rehearsing a show in North Hollywood. The show was called all about Phineas Taylor Barnum, of Barnum and Bailey's. And he was a showman, and if you saw the movie The Greatest Showman, it's all about Barnum. Very sensationalized expression of Barnum. But this musical that came out in the 80s, that's not when I was doing it, by the way. This came out in the 80s, because I would have been like that. This was a production in North Hollywood. So it had been fraught, this production that I was in had been fraught with challenge and oh my gosh, we were just being overworked, and the director would, no, stop, do it again, stop, do it again, no, we've got to go from the top, stop, do it again. Never had that experience? And we were well past our union break time at a point in one night, and I just lost it on the director in front of the entire cast and crew. Completely lost my temper, and I said, absolutely not! I will not do it again. And I had some more colorful language that was expressing itself in that moment, and oh my gosh, the whole place just went. Now I can look back on it and say, wow, I regret losing my temper in that experience, because there was a much better way I could have handled that. So I almost always regret losing my temper, but I almost never regret keeping it. So this is a way that we can address once again, how are we living our lives? Are we living our lives by thinking of other people as the enemy? Are we thinking of other people as the antagonist in our lives? Or can we find the love at the heart of all people we encounter? It took me a while, because I was not on this path yet, to find the love in my heart for that director, but I found it. I found it. Hollowell wrote this: disobedience to the law, refusal to do what we know is right. But we do not always do it because it seems to interfere or delay our immediate attainment of the object we see. I talk about this a lot. What is right? And are we trying to grasp on things out there to hold on to what we feel is right? This is the morality question, right? This is the morality question. Did I know what was right in that experience of losing my temper? Maybe. I knew what was right for me. How I handled it was a completely different story. So what is right? What is right? On a deeper level, what is right? Self-enlightenment, which is what I think many of us are here to perhaps move in the direction of. Self-enlightenment to me seems only possible as we support the enlightenment of all people in our sphere. And I guarantee you that conflict will not enlighten anyone else. There are constructive ways of doing this. There are destructive ways of trying to do it, but I guarantee the destructive ways are not going to get you anywhere. So where is my faith? My faith is to approach life in hope, always, having only positive expectations in every encounter, to not ever see another person as a person of conflict, as an antagonist, or as the villain of my story. Oh, anyone got villains in their story? I believe, although my husband might disagree, that I am much less prone now to losing my temper. I'll have to check in with him later. Being rooted in faith is an invitation to cooperate with the infinite power of creation. That energy that makes things happen, that greatness on demand. Get the acronym? Yeah. To obey the manner of law, which is the way it all works. Consistent unfoldment, no matter what. We cannot stop it. We cannot stop it. Although I see people try, it's like, no, it's too much, too fast, no. No. Root yourself in faith and trust. That's what this lesson is all about. That's what the law of obedience is all about. That's what the law of success is all about. That we cannot not be successful. We can only ever be successful when we know who we are. We are a success at the things we fail at because we have a consciousness of failure. Get it? So if you are experiencing what you might describe as failure in your life, start to turn that around and say, I am successful at failure. And so if I am that successful at failure, guess what? I can be that successful in success. And so I'm going to stop being successful at failure, turn it around, and choose to be successful in success. It works by providing, the law works by providing a response, not just to the thought, but to the belief and to the feeling behind the thought. The energy of the thought is important. And I think that that's one thing that we are moving into, that when New Thought was being founded 150 years ago, when New Thought was really being considered and founded, and they were looking at the Transcendentalist movement, and they were looking at all the things that were informing this frame of mind, it really became an intellectual exercise. I change my thinking, I change my life. But it's gone so much deeper than that. It is about the energy behind the thought. That's what needs to change, because it's really easy to change a thought. It's really, people are like, are you sure? It is really easy to change a thought. But the energy behind the thought, that's the thing that is a challenge. That's the thing that can be a challenge for people. Well, I choose no longer to allow it to be a challenge because I know who I am, I know who you are, and I know that there is that capacity as you that knows exactly how to change what it is you would like to change in your life. The energy of the thought is what must be addressed. Do you wish to succeed? You can. You possess all the essentials within yourself. Are you living life according to that construct, or do you have any doubt about that? Because doubt becomes the limitation. Doubt becomes the limitation. You can go no further, you can express no more, you can create no further than your doubt. And so today is a call to let go of all the doubt, to be done with it once and for all. I'm choosing to be done with it because I still have doubt sometimes. Oh, and it just sucks. The most ministerial thing I've said all day. Our tendency, oftentimes, and it's rooted in a construct that we were taught, by the way, is that we have to coerce the circumstances and manipulate the effects to change our lives. That will never work. Or if you do somehow get it to work, it is not a lasting change. What if in our desire to make things happen, we're actually getting in the way of our successful life? Because we're trying so hard. I see somebody who's trying really hard to make success, and it is crumbling all around him, Elon. That is a spectacular demonstration of trying to manipulate the circumstances, but not approaching from a frame of mind that is creative. So what if in our desire to make things happen, we're actually getting in the way of our success? If the nature of life is an upward spiral of evolutionary expression, I've talked about that before, we are in an infinite upward spiral of evolutionary expression, maybe the best thing we can do is trust. Because if we truly believe that life is an upward spiral of evolutionary expression, if we live in faith and trust, then we can rest easy in the grace that is the divine essence of creation. In trust, the law takes care of all our needs because we can never be without when we know who we are. Here's a question to ponder. What is your definition of success? He invites us to that question in the book. What is your definition of success? Is it individualized only, the way that you choose to express your success? Or can it be inclusive of the whole of humanity? Something to think about, because what I have found in my experience is that the more I am inclusive of the success of the whole of humanity, I am not separate from the whole of humanity, and therefore I must be successful as part of that paradigm. So I will do everything I can to support the whole of humanity in its successful expression of the most magnificent life it can express. That's why we hold here the vision of a world that is awakened to its magnificence. What if we collectively started defining success as that which supports both the individual and the whole of humanity? What if? What would this world look like? I see some people wanting to clap. Go ahead. I mean, what a difference that world would be. There's good news. There's good news around this because you know what that good news is? You. Yes, you and you. You are at the forefront of that. By making a choice to be the most magnificent expression you can be and recognizing it in everyone you see. We have come full circle. And the nature of this world is responding. It may look challenging because a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, look at all the stuff that is happening. in the world, and it feels really challenging, and it feels like everything is falling apart around us. Well, you've heard me say a million times, when the world seems to be falling apart around you, it is because that essence of God can no longer be contained by the limitations that you have put into place. So something must be born. It must shed so that the phoenix can rise. That's what's happening. That's what we're experiencing right now. There is in behavioral psychology a concept called extinction burst. Anyone know what extinction burst is? Extinction burst is this idea. It is the last gasp of a dying fear. And so as people are rooted and motivated by fear, they are going to express based on that fear. And as I don't want to say fight back, but as we press against that fear with pure love, you know what happens? That fear begins to dissipate, and it goes right into the Christmas tree. And it says, oh wait, I cannot be anymore, so I'm going to go hide. I'm actually doing this. It goes and it hides. The extinction burst is this. As you press against it, it's going to go, but wait a second, I'm coming back out. Ugh. That's the burst. And it is the last gasp of that dying fear. For when it is pressed against by that pure love, once again, it will dissipate once and for all, never to be seen again. That's what we're experiencing in this world right now. Can you get behind that idea and not be reactionary? Can you go out into this world and be pure love and only see pure love? That's what I believe we are here to do and to be. That is what we are experiencing. Fear is not welcome in this house. We who shine our light are less likely to be motivated by fear tactics. So my call to you today on this first day of Advent and the final day of our fall renewal series is shine your light. And keep in mind your faith, hope if necessary, and success is assured. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. The homework. Oh, yes, there is homework. Even though it's a holiday weekend, there is homework. The homework this week, actually, I've given this homework before, but since he basically talks about this very same construct in the book, I thought this would be a great homework assignment for this week. So Hollowell has a discussion in the book on the psychology of a successful attitude, and he speaks a lot about replacing and addressing the language of I can't, and simply telling yourself, I can. And so that's the homework this week. As a spiritual practice, I'm asking in every moment, what can I do? What can I do? As opposed to, what can't I do? Because we have been socialized. Our culture invites us into the question of, that's not possible. I can't do that. No, ask yourself the question, what can I do? Live in the realm of potential. Live in the realm of possibility and see the success that flows forth. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. Check in to see if there's any kernel of truth that has resonated here with you today. And let that idea be present in your heart space. Just relax as we enjoy a concretizing in this time of sacred reflection.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. 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 I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. Right here in this moment, I relax and I release any construct that anything in the circumstantial world has any power, and I give over to the infinite power and presence that is this good, orderly direction, this God essence, this source energy. I give over in this moment to a deepened understanding of the One. And I recognize and know that the One is expressing itself in myriad ways, and it is fully expressing as all creation. And so as I experience in all ways this thing called life, I recognize that life itself and all of its expression is this power, is this presence. This is our identity. This is who we are. With this in mind, I trust and know that I am in the flow, as we all are at all times. I am in the flow of the full expression of the law. And so I choose to turn the attention to the inner life, to allow that law essence to flow forth into the expression of life. And I let go of any need to manipulate or coerce, for it is unnecessary when I know who I am, and I trust and know that we are all in this together. And so, with gratitude overflowing for this understanding, I simply relax and allow, trusting in the flow of this word, for the word impressed upon the law becomes the expression of life. I trust it is so, and I affirm it as so by saying, and so it is. Amen. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love, this love, this love.
I know you don't ever want to break that, do you? I love that energy after, especially that song. Would you please welcome, I should give you some light because you're not coming up on stage. Would you please welcome to guide us offering the secretary of our board of directors, Roberta Latham. There we go, there's some light for you.
So I found myself being kind of amused the last week or so with people declaring celebrations on different days, like National Hug Your Cat Day, stuff like that. Then I saw one that said, just before Thanksgiving, it reminded me of Jonathan's homework from last week, National Clean Out Your Fridge Day. So I did that. It's amazing what you find in there. Anyway, just a funny thing. But another day that's coming up that really isn't particularly funny, it's very good, is National Giving Day, National Day of Giving, next Tuesday. I'm not sure it's really great to have it right after Cyber Monday, but nevertheless, it's a day, it's a thing. So I'd like to suggest that maybe you would consider including Unity of Tucson in your celebration of National Day of Giving. I plan to do that. Just whatever. Every little bit helps. We reviewed last week with our treasurer, how that we're not taking in as much income as we really need to. And don't forget, we also have a capital improvement fund as well as the general fund. So I just would like to encourage everybody to consider that. If you're an automatic giver, like many of us are, you can add another little bit, that works. And Jonathan will go over the different ways that we have of giving, as well as to present our giving prayer. And we thank you, and gratitude overwhelms me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roberta. So yes, the baskets will be coming around. You can put cash or checks into the baskets, but you can also give by electronic means. And if you do give by electronic means, you can affirm your giving by taking one of those items in the back, the little cards in the back of the chairs, and show that you have given electronically, or that you're a pre-authorized contributor and that your contributions are coming to Unity of Tucson on a regular basis. And we are deeply grateful for all the ways that you do give and grateful that you give. So let us celebrate as the baskets go around by singing our giving song.
God is my source, God is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Peace is my source, peace is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. Faith is my source, faith is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, and I have everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, 'cause I have everything I need.
And here to guide us in the blessing is Mirta Nebeker, another one of our magnificent prayer chaplains.
So as we bless the offerings that have been given today, I remember that source is my only source of good. Everything that's good in my life is the source, and it's God itself. I give thanks for everything that I have, everything that I give, and everything that I receive. I remember that the law of circulation is affecting me as it affects the universe. And so the more abundantly I give, the more abundantly I receive. And I now, in complete faith, I open my arms and received and bless. Thank you. Thank you, God.
So it is,
And
thank
so
you.
it is.
Yes, let's rub our hands together. Ready? Before you go away, Roberta, and before you go away, hold those there. Let's rub our hands together and let us express our energy towards our giving by saying these words together. We bless these gifts, and we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So in the construct and the idea of giving, we are in the time of our pledge program. So we run a pledge program every year in the fall to invite you to let us know what your intention is in the next year so that we can budget accordingly our expected income. So if you would like to participate in that, there is a form that can be filled out. These are on Molly's table out in the foyer. You can also scan that QR code and you could go right on your phone right now and make your pledge. So we are inviting you also, as you make your pledge, to not forget to click on that link to say set up your automated giving so that you can be sure to meet your pledge as well in the coming year. I have put forth this goal this year, that our operational expenses are met entirely by the pledge program. So what does that mean? Our expenses are projected to be about $345,000 over the course of next year. As of today, we have had 42 pledges that are totaling $119,000. So we have a little way to go, but yes, let's honor that magnificent blessing. Always grateful, always grateful. And if you have not yet signed up to be a part of the pledge program, please do. This week and next week are the two kind of final weeks before I sit down and actually hammer out the budget for 2023 that I then take to the board for approval. And so any information that I have from you is a blessing for me to make an appropriate budget. One thing I do want to let you know about, we have an annual meeting that comes up every year. The next annual meeting is in February, I think it's February 19th. At the annual meeting, one of the things that we do is we elect board members. Now, frequently, board members who've not exceeded their term limits will run for another term on the board. We have 2 board members who are not seeking re-election this year, so we have 2 open positions for the board. If you feel like board service is a call for you, would you please speak to me, or you can speak to Sherry, or you can speak to Karen, or you can speak to Mary. Mary Alls or Karen Ives. We are the 4 people who make up the nominating committee, and we would be delighted to have that conversation with you. Just wanted to start putting that out there in advance because there's some vetting that goes on for our board positions. Some other things that are happening here at Unity of Tucson, I'm like, whoa, the poinsettia thing is now in the way. But that's okay. We have an outing to Gaslight Theater, December 17th at 12 p.m., the 12 p.m. show. Today is the final day to secure your tickets as part of our group. So purchase your ticket in the bookstore. You can also call the office at 577-3300 to join us as a great big group from Unity. We call ourselves the Unitics to go to Gaslight Theater. Another outing that we have is a Winter Haven wagon ride on December 10th. For a 6 p.m. ride. We're inviting people to book directly with the wagon ride company by calling 520-825-0208. There is a URL there that you can't see entirely, so a lot of good that does you. But it's on the table out there. You can always find the information at Molly's table. So yes, join us for that. That's going to be a fun night. Another thing, we are having a Christmas cookie exchange and holiday tea on December 11th after the service. Now, that first part says, bring 3 dozen cookies, holiday cookies, and then take home 3 dozen. You're going to do an exchange of holiday cookies. Also, there's going to be holiday tea served as part of that experience. And Molly wants me to make sure that you know it's going to be served in a silver tea set. That's very important to know. The other thing to know is that I'm inviting everyone to plan ahead for our Christmas Eve candlelight service on December 24th at 6 p.m. right here in this room. It's going to be a glorious, gorgeous candlelight service on Christmas Eve. Linda and I just had a meeting today about all the music that we're intending. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Since Christmas Day falls on a Sunday this year, because we are having the Christmas Eve service, we're not going to then turn around and have me get up here by 5 o'clock in the morning to do a Christmas Day service. So there will be no service, I'm just very loudly, there will be no service on Sunday, December 25th. There will be service on Saturday, December 24th at 6 p.m. Our prayer chaplains in service today are Sherry Hoffman and Mirta Nebeker. They will be available for moments of prayer about halfway down the sanctuary on either side. If you need or seek prayer from them, They are available to you for what I like to call our 1-minute miracle. You can also put your prayer intentions into the prayer intention box by writing out the form, throwing it in the box. It gets prayed upon by our prayer chaplains and sent to Unity's worldwide prayer ministry, Silent Unity. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible. Of course, our technical team, Wally and Don and Rowan, thank you for your service today. Always a blessing. I want to say a special thanks to everyone who supported or participated in our Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. Thank you to everyone who made that happen. Yes. Our prayer chaplains today, Reverend Sue Oliver, who led a glorious meditation this morning. Thank you. Sherry Hoffman and Mirta Nebeker, thank you so much for your service. Keeper of the Flames, Lynn Peterson, thank you so much. Our magnificent music team, Linda and Paul and Raphael, grateful for you as always. And thank you, each and every one of you. I'm so deeply grateful that you bless this community with your presence and that you are on this thing, that you're on this journey of life with me. You make my life better because of your existence within my life. So thank you. I am deeply grateful to you. Yes, Karen. Event committee. There's an event committee meeting next Sunday after service, December 3rd. Thank you for reminding me. Karen is I don't know why I felt I had to then all of a sudden speak into this microphone to make that happen, but sometimes it just feels more robust. So yes, December 3rd, next Sunday, we will have an event committee meeting after service. Okay, join us for social time in Harmony Hall after the end. We're going to close it out today for the final time with I Release. Well, I guess we should say the prayer of divine awareness first, but you can underscore it maybe. Let's say this together. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living life as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm living life as God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living life as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm living life as God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm living life as God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm living life as God. I am free in the Spirit, 'cause I'm living life as God. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.